What's going on YouTube? JT is born here, and welcome back to another edition of my Godzilla comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Godzilla's Monsterpiece Theater, issue number 1. This one is written and drawn by Tom Scioli, edited by Jake Williams, production designed by Nathan Wittick. And this is a storyline that takes Godzilla and mingles in him with like classic historical figures and classic literary characters. You have like your Sherlock Holmes, you have Jules Verne, of course, very famous writer of such great novels as like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and was it like From Earth to the Moon? I'm trying to remember some of the other ones, but then of course you have Sherlock Holmes being in this. You also have Jay Gatsby from The Great Gatsby, and a few other things kind of thrown together in here as well. So that's basically the appeal of this thing. It's seeing some people like Sherlock Holmes and Jay Gatsby in this own unique Godzilla shared universe coming together to confront Godzilla and find a means to stop him. That's your basic premise outline of the thing. And again, the appeal of this thing is seeing something that's like a classic literary story and characters and kind of some real life figures at the time mixed in with Godzilla, something you wouldn't really see every day. So automatically the book gets a thumbs up for me from the get-go, because I'm not a fan of The Great Gatsby. I did not like reading that book back in high school. I thought it was extremely boring. There's been so many better books I had to read, like as part of like Of Mice and Men. Much preferred reading that as opposed to The Great Gatsby. It was absolute torture having to sit in class, having to have like everyone just kind of read part of a chapter every week. And I was like, oh my gosh, just end me right now kind of vibe. So and again, the movies themselves I didn't really care much for. There was the Robert Redford one and the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and all that. Although the Leo one does have the iconic meme, and it does have Tobey Maguire in it, so that's a plus, but still not a fan of it. But you want to make it more interesting, you want to make a storyline which I can't like stomach, more interesting and more exciting and something I can actually like get into, throw Godzilla into the mix. Yeah, it makes it more awesome. Godzilla comes in, wrecks Gatsby's shit, and like he seemingly like the stuff is like his home and all that's destroyed. I'm like, thank God. Like I wish I could just like picture young me like I'm watching the Leo movie or something like that, and just in the middle of it Godzilla shows up and just blows everything to hell. Would have been a pitch perfect 10 out of 10 movie right there, just out of nowhere, just kind of like it is here. And I really like that aspect. So yeah, Gatsby ends up going into all the greatest minds like Sherlock Holmes and all that. He also forms the G-Force, which is now the Gatsby Force, which I thought was kind of interesting. There's also some nice little like kind of nods to classic shots. Like you have this one right here that's a clear reference to the 1954 film, that over the building shot right there, which I thought was kind of cool. Gatsby making the G-Force is interesting, like tanks and all that too. There's also the if you're online a lot, there is the infamous Godzilla wrecked the Titanic meme, where it's like what they don't want you to know, and it's just Godzilla's dorsal plates for the real iceberg. And they kind of play around with something right here. I don't think it's quite the Titanic, but like the idea is still at play there. And of course you have Sherlock Holmes investigating stuff. Jules Verne is there as well. And you got, like I said, was it the Nautilus? By the way, if you get the chance to, I recommend watching the 1950s 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Disney with Kirk Douglas, James Mason, and Peter Lorre. Excellent movie. Really love that one. One of my favorite Disney films in terms of like live action ones for sure. So, and of course, Godzilla destroys London, and all these different mites of the military aren't able to stop him. So that kind of leaves the series on a bit of a cliffhanger ending, and now we're kind of wondering like where we can go from here. So I actually did enjoy this thing overall. The artwork, it's not my favorite ideal style, but it is kind of done in a bit of a retro old school comic book kind of vibe. And I think for that reason, it kind of invokes like that sense of nostalgia. It really kind of feels in tune with the period that a lot of these books and kind of creatives were out there making stuff. So I think it works in that regards. And again, it's nothing totally like breaking new ground with it. Like, I mean, we've seen Godzilla, it's just people kind of come together to stop Godzilla. But again, in a period piece and bringing in characters I would have never expected, like a Sherlock Holmes. I mean, that automatically is kind of cool. Like, I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan. I've seen a lot of the movies and shows, and I've read some of the books. Like Count of the Baskervilles is probably my favorite that I read. And then of course you have making like a book that I can't stand, The Great Gatsby, entertaining by adding Godzilla. So like I said, this gets a plus in my book for that too. So I'm excited to see where they go from here. IDW continues to make some interesting Godzilla tales. Not my favorite out right now. I think Here There Be Dragons was definitely a stronger storyline than this one. But again, this is a pretty interesting idea, and I think for like what they're trying to do, I think it works for the most part. So yeah, if you get the chance to, I recommend checking it out. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this particular issue. issue. What did you think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit that bell for notifications, all the fun stuff. I'll be back later on this week with more comic book stuff and a big special on Halloween night. So look forward to all that. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.